From the game studio behind best-selling VR experiences of I Expect You to Die and Among Us VR comes Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire. In this single-player horror game, you are transformed into a vampire slayer who is on the mythic quest to destroy vampires before they wake. Tension builds as you rely on silence and precision to disarm the traps in the various vampires' defenses. Unlike other VR horror games on the market, Silent Slayer relies on puzzle solving and precise use of tools to vanquish these monsters. You'll use a pry bar, clippers, and even a hook made from a finger bone to complete your mission. Naturally, the stakes will also be provided. This jump scare VR experience is meant for the bravest of souls. Can you pass the test? Get Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire today on the MetaQuest store or wishlisted on Steam. And for listeners of the podcast, we have an exclusive discount code for 10% off by using code RuffSlayer-8904FC. Just visit the link in our show notes and use the code RuffSlayer-8904FC for 10% off Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire.
Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Coming at you with another edition of VR news and spoilers, I will say. Just one episode this week. Yes, that's how we roll. We put out 3 episodes last week, 2 interviews, instead of holding one of those interviews.
How good did that feel, though?
Yeah. Coming right back from, I guess, a vacation, a trip. But it was
I'll call it a vacation.
Podcast trip.
Bizcation.
Yes, a podcast trip. But, we came right back with 3 interviews.
I want to go back right now.
Yeah. Right back to Stockholm. But instead of, like I said, holding one of those interviews, so we have 2 episodes this week, we had an interview fall through. Just 1 episode this week, so enjoy the news while you're listening to it, because that's all you got this week.
All you're getting.
Well, you know what? In fairness, maybe not everybody had a chance to listen to all 3 episodes last week.
No, in total fairness, that's a lot to dump on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
2 is pretty smooth. 3 is like, man.
3's a little aggressive. You could say that.
I was doing the rough numbers, real rough numbers, and I think it's about 14, 15 days of 24-hour listening. If you were like, I'm going to binge every one.
Yeah, we do a lot of content. Yeah. A lot of content. So yeah, enjoy this 1 episode this week. And we'll be back at you next week with, another interview. I'm really excited for next week's interview, so that'll be a fun one. I know you're excited for it too. I don't want to give spoilers yet, but maybe if you're in the Patreon, you'll see a link.
Is this the Zuckerberg week?
No. The Palmer Luckey week? No, I'm just kidding. So to kick off the news, actually, you know what? Why don't I get this out of the way before we go in the news?
Yeah, please.
Thanks to the MetaQuest Creator Program, we were able.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
this is really good.
We were able to score the next generation of the B-Haptics tack suit. Did we already talk about this on the podcast? I feel like we might have.
I don't know. We might have mentioned that we had bought the.
And let me make a correction. I said the next generation. Thanks to the MetaQuest Creator Program, we were able to score the B-Haptics TaxU X40. We had the X16 previously. I think we might have already mentioned this. I'm not 100%. So if we mentioned this the other week, I'm sorry for any redundancy. But, hey, I have it in my hands right now. We got the B-Haptics TaxU X40, which is so much fun playing with.
I'll tell you what, man. When I started using our other ones, I was like, I just wish this thing was a little longer. Just a little bigger. And I had seen the advertisement already for the X40. You're getting dressed, huh? Mm-hmm. And
knocked over my note card.
I freaking love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's like 100% exactly what I wanted, because it just fits my body better than and the other one worked good, and I was blessed to be able to have it. So yeah, you put it on like a coat. It goes on the same way as the other one. And I love tightening up the side straps once you zip up, so you're nice and snug. But game changer, many more access points of vibration coming your way with this. So it just makes it, but again, my only issue I had with the other one wasn't performance at all. It was just, I wish it was just a little longer. Feels almost like an 80s half shirt. But
yeah,
this
look
one
at this thing.
Crushes it.
This thing is badass.
Yeah, man. For the YouTubers, you'll see it.
Boom. Yeah, I know for the audio people, they're going to be like, What the hell?
Not for nothing. If you were short on time of a costume, it's the great foundation for a superhero costume.
Honestly, it has that superhero vest feel. And like you said,
you can give it abs, man.
the X16 kind of cut off at like the vest
Right
part.
under the rib cage, I'd say more or less, right?
Mhm.
'Cause I'm a little longer than a half shirt, but felt like a half
This
shirt.
one's like full size abdomen, and you can unclick. I don't know if you mentioned this. You can unclick the shoulders to make it even longer.
Yeah, which I instantly did before even trying it on.
So between all the buckles that you can tighten and loosen, the shoulders which you can unclick or leave clicked. I mean, they give you the extra inside mesh lining too.
Dude, with like every game coming out with haptics now, it's just the variety is there. So it's like the perfect timing for the
So I am happy we got to start with the X16. So now we can see
Yeah.
the difference between
The
the
actual
16 and
comparison.
40. But damn, man, the X40 is way better.
Before I turned it on and I
Just
put it
putting
on and
it
got
on,
it all
yeah.
snug, I'm like, oh, because of the longer length and with the lower straps you can tighten,
Mm-hmm.
it fits like,
Remember when I put it on the first time? You're like, dude, that goes all the way to your actual lower abdomen.
Yeah.
Like that's your last ab right there.
that's why they get the pecs and the abs.
Yeah.
Because you know where your pecs like
And
visually should be.
Playing Zero Caliber 2 with this thing too. So fun. We started playing it last night again.
Dude, Dungeons of Eternity. I'm such an,
Hellsweeper, which we're going to talk about later.
yeah.
They
But I'll
have
just
the
bang
haptic support.
I'll just bang the weapons in Dungeons of Eternity together just to feel the thing vibrate.
When we first got the X16 a couple months ago, the first thing I did was go, besides use the B-Haptics native app, which I highly recommend checking out the native app that they have.
Yeah, they got a lot of fun stuff in there.
Yeah, there you can like feel like, you know, they have gunfire, water, rain, you name it, a whole bunch of different haptic experiences. So I did that first. And then I went into Thrill of the Fight, put my hands up like this over my face and just let them rip my body for a little bit.
Yeah, just to feel it.
Just to feel it. But for like a game like Zero Caliber, you'd be like, dude, I'm getting shot.
Well, and in a VR sense, it's such a benefit with the immersion factor of like knowing you got hit or knowing where you got hit.
You won't play Dungeons of Eternity without yours. And that's even
No.
when we had the X16. Now that we have the X40.
What's really cool is you can put them on a coat hanger. You
Yeah.
can just zip them up and hang them up in the closet. So I keep mine right next to the. Honestly, I have both.
And you can
Sitting
use it
right
for
there.
PC VR and Quest.
Yeah.
And
Comes
If-
with a little adapter for the PC VR.
they have a whole list on their website of compatible games. But what's awesome, I don't remember the X16 coming with this. Maybe it did and I just didn't pay attention. But it comes with an audio cable that you can use for games that are not compatible with B-Haptics. But what it does is it turns the audio from the game into haptics.
Like a light bass speaker.
That's pretty freaking cool.
And compared to nothing, especially if the game's got good bass.
And in my opinion, you go on the store for B-Haptics, you look at the compatible list of games. On native Quest games, there's like 99 of them.
Well,
that's really good.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit that, you know what, a couple years ago, B-Haptics was cool, but it was like you didn't have the amount of games to really play with it.
No, there's a bunch of compatible
But
games.
look at all the new ones that are coming out, and they already have it.
Now I want the full set, though, dude.
And dude, if a game says level, like intensity for haptics,
I like that they do that.
bunk, I crank it all the way up.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm getting hit,
Mhm.
you know?
That's how Zero Caliber is. In Zero Caliber, they have the haptics going just sitting there. Ba-doom, ba-doom,
Oh, and Zero
ba-doom,
Caliber 2?
ba-doom. Yeah, Zero Caliber 2, I should specify. That's
Yeah,
if I
no,
said Zero
that's-
Caliber at any point, I meant Zero Caliber 2.
Part 2.
Number 2. Thank goodness we got access to that through the developers early.
Dude, it's fun.
Dude, I didn't put this on my list of news. Let me go pull this up. I'm so glad I just thought of this. They posted their release date last
Oh,
week.
It's becoming official.
Yeah, they made it official. So let me get
Oh,
that.
dude, people are in for a treat.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's not far away. It's sometime in July, if I remember correctly.
I'll make up a date in the meantime. I'll say July 14th. Why not? That might not be a Thursday.
All right, I'm back for my research after deep diving. So they didn't post the exact release
We
date.
went about 150 feet looking for this answer. or whatever.
After, hard intensive research, they didn't post the actual release date. They just said it's going to be coming out in July, and stay tuned for the Upload VR Summer Showcase, which is June 26th this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's not enough reason,
Announcement date.
yeah, that's enough reason for me to tune in. Besides the fact that it's a VR gaming showcase,
Yeah, they have me twice.
you know me, I'm a sucker for a good showcase.
I want to see who shows up.
Yeah,
It's going to be pretty good.
these showcases, these are the inspiration for the Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase, which
Think we'll get any Silent North or Grimm or
Ooh, that would be nice. The main sponsor for this one this year for Upload VR is Smash Drums, which I thought was a surprising main sponsor. I wonder what they have in store to show.
I haven't looked at their sponsor page.
You got to think if you're going for the main sponsor spot, you have something to show, right?
They do with what they're doing, but maybe they're
what's up their sleeve coming. Yeah, that's my speculation. When I see main sponsor, I think, well, they're main sponsoring because they have something to show, right?
In most cases, I would say yes. In some cases, no.
We know Zero Caliber's teasing, right? We have Smash Drums as the main sponsor. So this is interesting to watch, and I already know, though, I'm going to finish this showcase and just be like so hungry for next March because that's when we're doing our next edition.
That planning has already begun.
Yeah. I'm excited for it, the second ever Rough Talk VR Gaming Showcase. But first, we have the Upload VR Summer Showcase.
Showcase time.
This week, June 26th, with Zero Caliber 2 teasing a release date. So
yeah, I think there's going to be some good trailers to be shown.
Also,
I really do.
If you skipped, speaking of main sponsors and stuff like that, if you skipped the ad read in the beginning of the show, well, now you get to listen to me here where I say if you didn't catch it before, our sponsor for this next month on the podcast is Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire from Shell Games. So you can check that out. We have an exclusive discount code. You can find that in the link in our show notes, as well as a link to go actually to the store page and get the game itself too. So go check that out from Shell Games. Silent Slayer is an awesome game,
dude. I was really letting it sink in today because I'm impressed with studios that go different directions. So we know they're good at puzzle games. So I was happy that they brought that puzzle element,
but in a completely different way.
But Jesus, yeah.
And you're already asking for I Expect You to Die 4.
Yeah, I figured it's about time to start the whining campaign for I Expect You to Die 4 or some sort of teaser. Or
when's the next one?
Or acknowledgement, wink, wink, whatever. I'm even happy with I Can't Officially Say, because we all know what that really means. I can't officially say anything.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a Ghost of Tabor hat so I'm like a NASCAR. Yeah.
I officially can't say anything means that there's something big coming. But I'm hoping, I have no confirmation that I Expect You to Die 4 is coming out. But so also with Silent Slayer, I'm holding true that it's probably one of the better party games to play.
Yeah.
When you can cast it to a TV.
Yep.
Because I think playing it yourself is really fun.
Watching
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, I just keep going back to PAX when, how many people did we watch natively just come up and try this game for the first time? And the reactions are worth their weight in gold.
Well, I said it after PAX. I've never had a game in VR force me to utilize so many of my different senses. Touch,
plus your ability
feel.
to remain calm, because you have to be very smooth and slow. I mean, you don't have to be, but then
spoiler, like you don't want to rip out the nail super fast.
No, and their walkthrough, getting you prepped to do it is you're greased in really nice.
Classic puzzle fashion. Your first couple you're going to walk through, right?
So the fact that Shell Games in itself, plus with this, is sponsoring the podcast for the next month is like huge.
So go visit the link in our show notes and use the code. The discount code there for an exclusive discount from the Rough Talk VR crew. And huge shout out to Shell Games for their support. So if you haven't yet,
honestly, for years now, almost from
one of our favorite studios too. Yep. Some of the coolest people. So if you haven't checked them out yet, go check out Silent Slayer, both because it's a great game and hell, they're supporting the show. That's enough reason to my eyes to go support them.
I would say, look, if you're a fan of I Expect You to Die, you support everything they do so that the resources are there to make I Expect You to Die 4.
Dude, I Expect You to Die Until You Fall, which I see so many people wanting Until You Fall too. Yeah. As badly as you want the next I Expect You to Die.
100%.
People are...
I'm kind of on that bandwagon, but if I had my say, we'd be putting all our resources into I Expect You to Die. Then we can go the other. Where the other side would be like,
your ideal Shell Games game cycle is one game, I Expect You to Die. No, new game, I Expect You to Die.
Every year.
New game, I Expect You to Die. You do one game, then go back and forth.
Dude, they're lucky I'm not the CO. I'd be like, look, I expect one of these every 12 months. So how much is it going to cost me? And how big does the team have to be?
Then they also have Among Us VR that we talked about last week with updates. So Shell Games is awesome. Go check out Silent Slayer. Like I said, visit the link in the show notes. Use our exclusive discount code. Save yourself a little buck.
Have
Why
fun
not?
killing them vampires.
Yeah. And now on
Good luck.
now on to the actual news that we had for this week. Now that we had all of our banter and fun out of the way, now to the actual work, right? We missed this one last week, and I felt terrible when I forgot to bring it up. Breachers from Triangle Factory, one of the best shooters in VR.
I don't know how that got lost. Because,
dude,
we knew it.
There's
just
such
didn't make the cut. I don't know what the hell happened. It like didn't fall. In fairness, we had just gotten back to, didn't we?
That's fair. We had a lot on the agenda.
Yeah, a lot on the mind.
There's different categories of shooters. You know, Ghost of Tabor for extraction-based shooters and for just realistic gun mechanics.
Realism. Yeah.
They're number one. Then you have that Battle Royale category of shooters where you have, Population 1 and Contractor Showdown neck and neck right now.
Yeah.
And then you also have, team-based shooters where there's OG Contractors, then you have Pavlovs, and then, you have Breachers. Of course, there's others as well, too. I just named a few. But of all the X8, all of all those, none of them do it as good as Breachers, in my opinion.
For a true 5v5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You went in with instant Counter-Strike vibes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you can use, look, you get a team of 5 people who are going to play for a couple hours a night. You are going to run strategies and run tactics, and everyone's going to have their spots that they cover. You're going to be able to run the map backwards because you know all the nooks. I'm just thinking back to the Counter-Strike competition days.
Mm-hmm.
You invest hours in, yeah, dude.
So fun. And they've done a great job adding new maps, and just it's got such great gameplay.
Visually amazing, too.
The gunplay in
Looks
it is
really
fun. Climbing and breaching into stuff, so much fun. All the different gadgets, the strategy involved with there, the teamwork. Breachers is top tier. And they announced the other week that they launched a new map, their Dam map. And it looks good.
Biggest ever, too.
Yeah,
right?
they say it's their biggest map yet. And I like the emphasis on yet.
Yeah.
Because,
because
things are only going to get bigger and better.
I'm sure their map roadmap alone is pretty fucking jacked.
But Breachers is graphically stunning.
From day one.
It's gameplay, so fun. Like I said, the teamwork element of it. So to see them continually adding new maps. And you know what's actually really cool? The other week we were saying, like, man, Breachers has kind of been out of the news cycle for a little bit.
Yep.
And then this came out. So I was so bummed to miss it last week. So
Well, that just means that their timing of it was perfect. Because if you and I were actually like,
it's been a little bit. Been a
since
minute.
we've heard anything about Breachers, what's going on? Like, we've got the ear to the ground anyways. And then, that means just their timing was perfect. Because it means that other people were probably thinking the same thing around the same time. And then so I'll give them props on that.
Yeah.
They have a great product, dude.
We haven't checked out the damn map yet, but definitely going to soon. That's for sure.
Haven't checked out that damn map. That's awesome. If I was a little kid, I'd be abusing that. That was the way I would do shit.
So we're going to do things a little different on this episode than we usually do. Usually I kind of like take the lead with all the notes in the front, but dude, we got flashcards now and we split them up 50-50.
We're laughing at how many years it took to do this.
How obvious it was. It looked like a whole
We
storyboard.
overcomplicate when we can.
Yeah. We even have lights now. We have speaking lights. You won't be able to see that, but if one of us wants to speak, we can turn on a light. If one
Or
of
if
us
I
is
need
going
a
on a
bathroom
tangent.
break or whatever.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
We're getting professional. It's not too bad. So we're going to alternate too. I just did the first news, so you want to take it away with?
Yeah, man, something we haven't talked about in probably the past 30 days.
Another thing we forgot, so I guess that's appropriate to do.
Well, the first week it was 100%. It was forgotten. I even had it on my notes to talk about, and I didn't. And I think we talked about it the next week, how we didn't talk about it. But Grim is on my mind.
Such a good game. I'm so excited to be back, settled in, caught up with everything, and be able to go back into, I guess, trying to find my way around.
Dude, it's,
trying to learn to survive.
I feel like because we took a week and a half off.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Like, life sucks.
Mhm.
And to make it worse, because of just shit going on in the real world, I had to break down my computer for not
break down the
take
computer.
down I had
Just
to
unplug.
unplug it and relocate it to an area that has nowhere to set up. So now later at the end of the week, I have a table coming for it that I got that should allow me to continue because I'm jonesing right now. And I'm seeing
You have a house full of dip spices.
Yeah.
A whole house full of dip spices.
Weighs more than a car, dude. It sucks.
But
I mean, it's for a good cause.
the euphoria that comes through your door when you open that door, of smells, of scents.
Between the desserts and I'd say a lot of garlic. But it's such a unique smell that you can't pinpoint it. It doesn't smell bad. You just don't know really.
Well,
what
it's so
you're
many
smelling.
different spices.
Just a lot of spices.
Just moves all into one giant one.
I could move to a spice market.
So yeah, I'm so excited to go back into Grimm.
Yeah, and Spoon's been dropping fixes and updates, and I don't know anything, so I'm just speculating. So please, nobody hold me accountable. But I feel like we're getting really close. Definitely closer, but I feel like
day by day, technically we're closer every day. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and the way Spoon works is just
nonstop.
We all know it's a little almost scary. Like I'm almost scared.
I'm a little concerned.
I like doing Spoon wellness checks, usually once a week or so. Just nothing major. Just, hey man, how you doing? And it's always fucking working. What do you think I'm doing?
Grimm's not going to make itself.
Yeah, Grimm's not going to make itself. And I feel like left to his own accord, which he is, more or less, right? And we know how developers can be with their level of perfection and what they really want, and they're not willing to budge. Now imagine if you're that developer that thinks that way and you don't have anybody telling you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a scary recipe.
Yeah, but again, I'm so excited to go back in. I feel like I'm going to be starting from square one.
In a way, we are, because there's been some
changes.
There's been some changes,
a week,
and updates,
week or two
and
off.
upgrades, and in a week and a half, dude. 2 weeks. I feel like we're gonna get freaking
mollywomped.
Showing
let's be real, we were getting mollywomped anyway, but it doesn't help.
I wasn't getting. I was getting found.
We need to meet up with Chadwick soon. We need to meet up with Chadwick.
Yeah, because we had a good system for meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we were reading the sun. Like, just follow the sun, dude. And theoretically, and I confirmed this, it would have actually worked the way we were doing it. But again, overthunk it, and we could have just popped into a dome and went, hey, dude, you see me waving at you? I'm the one getting eaten by the bear. Dude, that footage of us playing.
Yeah.
Every time I watch
that's my goal, right? Because we haven't really gone in too much.
Eat the bear?
No, we'll kill the bear.
Well, dude, you get some of the weapons you can create. Yeah, you just walk in there, you probably look at the bear, he's going to shit himself.
No, I'm going to kill that bear. I feel like we could have almost done it, but how many shots do you think it takes?
I'd like to C4 the bear. Just drop some C4 on the ground.
Don't give a hell about the loot.
And
I don't care if it all blows away.
Hey, it's going to cook the meat. At least half that bear is going to be edible right off the bat. You go blow it up with C4.
Too funny.
Be all chunked up in 1 pound sizes.
I will say, too, if you're not even, most people don't have access to Grimm, like what, 60, 70 people do as playtesters, but I would recommend going in their Discord and just staying up to date on what's coming to it, seeing the progress. It's really worth a watch. It's worth a follow, for sure.
And again, I don't know nothing, but if you wanted to be a playtester, I would probably get that application in sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. So, in other news, too, at AWE, Palmer Luckey was teasing that he has another headset in the works, or that he's working on a headset at least.
Oh, everybody was excited.
I was excited.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, everybody, their name's me then, because I was freaking hyped. But yeah, no, the buzz was coming. And then, the day of, he did kind of say, like, just so everybody knows, I've been seeing people go crazy. Like, I'm not giving too much details. I just want to say that I am working on something, because like in his eyes, if you don't say you're working on something, people are hesitant to work with you on it. But if you put it out there that you're working on something, then people come out of the woodworks.
Makes it official. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to work with, mystery. Let's talk behind a gray, but when it's, hey, you put out with the universe, I'm working on something. Yeah. I'd be surprised who comes out of the woodwork excited. Hell, that's how Mark Zuckerberg bought Oculus in the first place. You put it out there. But he came out, he said he's working on a new headset. Not a whole bunch of details on it yet, only that it's military focused, but there are going to be non-military uses for it, which we were joking, like military uses, like what are you going to do with that? Be controlling drones from it? And
drones, baby.
I instantly thought, it'd be one thing to have that field of view, like that first person view of it, but imagine like if you've ever played Eternal Starlight, where you can grab and move the units with your hand. Imagine being able to do that type of shit with it. Like, all right, grab, move here, then you just see the drone start to fly.
Well, I mean,
initiate combat.
It's going to sound really harsh, but in a real sense of like combat, if you can desensitize the person on the other end of it.
I feel like that's way more desensitizing than a first-person view.
Yeah, man.
Being top down, just God controlling it.
There's drone pilots that have PTSD.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So it's like if you can find a way to, I hate saying gamify the whole,
but high
the whole
scores,
combat experience, leaderboards and upgrades,
you
get a weekend pass
to Disney.
Incentivize that. Really go out there and hunt.
I'm curious what comes of this. What the military uses are going to include, and what the non-military uses are going to include.
It could be everything.
Yeah.
It could be drones. It could be guided, helicopters.
Training.
It could be jets. It could be freaking tanks. It could be those robot tanks that.
I'm sure more details will come soon, but that was an exciting one to me, to say the least.
Put it on the bullets.
Yeah. Even though I think most people like myself, they were hoping for something gaming focused and everything, but it's not surprising at all that it's military only. You made the funny joke to me. You were like, oh, what? The guy that's most likely to build a Death Star in our lifetime working on a military headset?
How shocking. Most likely to build a Death Star.
It's true, too. If this guy came out tomorrow with a Death Star, I don't think I would be too shocked.
No, dude. What's to say he hasn't already started construction? We can't go into space and see it, right? Everyone just knows, look, you stay away from the northeast sector of space, take a left at the moon. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't fuck with Palmer Luckey at all. All right, so a huge congrats. This was actually cool to watch go down because we saw the lead up to it, and then it actually went down. And you never know how these things play out. So, congrats to Between Realities for picking up content creator of the year at AWE.
Yeah, that was huge.
That was real huge.
Podcast crew picking it up.
Getting recognized? Yeah.
That was the first thing I said. Besides congratulations to them, I was like, dude, that's huge to see a VR podcaster crew pick that up.
Sometimes podcasts can be overlooked. But,
easy. Not sometimes, a lot of times.
True. I'm trying to be gentle. But no, good team. Happy. I'm pretty stoked they both won. I think they represent the VR space really positive. Even when they have put like a negative spin on something, it's not done with that like clickbait type mentality. It's just an honest, true assessment. So
no, Alex and Skiva, both great people. Early content creators that gave us attention too.
I didn't see them get presented the award. So did they have to really like hand it up to? Like need the little steps.
No, you pass it off to Alex, and then he hands it to Skiva on a stool later.
It's the scale. Sent out the 4'11" person to present it. Who's the smallest person we got?
I'm sure there is video of them getting it too. So now I want to find that.
I did see the award. I love their awards though.
Yeah, I think they call them the Augies.
Yeah, the Augies.
That was cool.
Wicked cool. Yeah, no, happy. Couldn't be happier they actually took that. Yeah,
and you know what? Super nice people, so couldn't happen to nicer people. And then this one was wicked cool to see. Gorilla Tag, they posted some stats, and these stats are freaking impressive.
Oh man, you wish it was a stock.
Oh man, you know what? Actually, I got to go to their store page as well too to get their review count.
We want to see what
I meant to do that before the episode because if I'm going to read some of these stats, I think it's only fair that. All right, so check this Gorilla Tag. I'm going to read some stats that they just posted recently, but you can find these ones on their store page.
They can be fact checked.
Just on the MetaQuest store page, they have 116,382 ratings. Of all of those ratings, though, check this: 116,000 ratings, 9,351 written reviews. That shows you those little kids are just hitting 5-star and moving on, not writing anything. Unless there's a bunch of referral codes. No, can't have referral codes. It's a free app.
Yeah.
But 116,000 ratings is insane. And Gorilla Tag came out and said that they have 1 million daily users, 1 million people using Gorilla Tag every day, with 3 million monthly users. Which dude, I feel like your monthly user count should be so much more than
3.
Yeah. Well, like if your daily is 1 million.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy that so much of their user base is using it daily. So much of the user base that uses it monthly also uses it daily.
Yeah.
That's crazy. With an average playtime of 60 minutes.
Which is for the amount of work you're going to put in is pretty. That's how you know
That's
it's
the
kids.
average.
Dude, that's how you know it's little kids.
Average playtime, 60 minutes.
Very few adults.
Could swing their arms like that for 60 minutes?
No. Dude, I can't swing my arms in underdogs for more than 60 minutes.
So,
Swing into the fences, man.
1 million daily users, 3 million monthly users, 60-minute average playtime, and they've passed 100 million in revenue.
Dude,
That's crazy.
That's
For a free game, too. That was on App Lab for most of the time.
it's such an obscure like anomaly that, and they do
A
get
phenomenon, you could say.
yeah, man, it's not the norm. And it you know, I get that some people are going to see those numbers and be like, "Oh my god, they did that with a free app." But that's not the norm for every free app by any stretch of the imagination. Just they're the originators of that game style for that people latched onto, I should say.
And that's the thing. You can try to copy Gorilla Tag now,
It's
but you're not
Gorilla
going to.
Tag.
You're not going. Exactly. They had their success because they did something that nobody else was doing.
And the term Gorilla Tag movement system, like we've used it. Like this
Exactly.
game has like the Gorilla Tag, so they've
defined that whole locomotion system.
$100 million.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I say like
100.
you can't copy Gorilla Tag because you know that there's, developers.
There's a lot of copycats out there, though.
I understand
But
it.
they're not raking in $100 million.
There's sometimes studios they like to go with the formulas that they know work. That might be a shooter, a rhythm game, but you're not going to be able to replicate the magic that Gorilla Tag did. And they weren't trying. Gorilla Tag wasn't trying to copy anyone. They made their own unique thing, like we said, their own locomotion system.
Well, look at Ghost at the Boar. Nobody else was doing it.
Exactly.
So you give people what they want. And in Gorilla Tag's sense, to me, they gave people what they didn't know they didn't want.
Well, they went
So-
after a market that most people really aren't focusing on, which they had no problem with their market, their game audience being mostly little kids. I mean, you really lean into that with free to play, right?
Oh, and you know what's crazier is like, even with paid and the ones that were going to attract the kids, it's like, I don't think a lot of parents know how to say no anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like your kid comes in having a full blown fucking temper tantrum because they want some game. Parents are probably going to buy it, or the kid's just going to buy it himself because
Credit cards attached, no
fucking
parental.
8 years old.
Parent never set up parental controls on the headset.
No, dude. And honest to God, there's people like that. So it's different. Like when I was a kid, if I were to be like, can I have no? And it's like, oh, I had no other alternative. There was no digital ordering. There was, you had to physically pay freaking money. You don't really, if shit's auto, you go into my headset, you're buying whatever you want, right?
Well, credit to them that they were able to pull 100 million with a free to play game like this.
Dude, it's unfreaking believable.
So huge props. 1 million active users every day.
Yeah, we've always given them the respect, even though it's not our jam.
No.
It's like you cannot ignore.
I'll make jokes on
business.
their Discord audience. I remember one time you went in and I was like, dude, they have 100,000 people in their Discord. And you're like, that's 100,000 kids, man. That's not some noise I want in my life. Like, we'll make jokes like that, but I have huge respect for what they're able to do.
And the kids are good, dude. It's not like these kids suck.
Well, let's be real.
I ain't going in there.
116,000 ratings. These kids are only going to grow up. These are kids that are growing up with VR now. It's normal to them because of games like Gorilla Tag. So in 10 years, when, they're 22 years old or whatever, 23 years old, they're going to be adult consumers now that have grown up with VR. So I think it's very important that there's apps like Gorilla Tag that capture that young audience as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be what I play? No. But not everybody likes Ghost of Tabor, my favorite game. Not everybody likes Ghost of Tabor. Cool beans. But you still got to respect what they're doing, like success-wise, and it's that same thing for Gorilla Tag.
Oh, any game that can make their mark in the market,
Mm-hmm.
I give props to.
100
I mean, I don't, even if it's not my jam. And
100 million's crazy. What I really want to know is how much freaking money has Beat Saber made? That's the one I want to know.
I'm thinking way over 100 million.
Mhm.
Like way over.
Oh, I think several hundred million at this
Going
point.
250, maybe 300
Mhm.
mil. And honestly, I might be being
Look
conservative.
at those DLC packs, especially if we look at not profit,
Could be half a bill.
just total, money that's flown in. Dude,
They got me with like every one of those
Yeah.
music packs
Not
back
just
in the
you,
day.
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
not just you.
So it's like
Base
they-
game cost
they
and all
got
those
me.
DLCs.
That was a $30 game, was it not?
Mhm.
Yep, $29.90.
no F's given, man. Beat Saber's making money.
It's still popular to this day.
That's the one I definitely want to see. No
and
doubt.
I love that too, because it's like the way they did the graphics, it still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're missing shit.
Yeah. You've been diving back into it recently too. So, dude, we went back into Path of the Warrior for one.
Path of the Warrior.
Did that first mission again. That one is so fun.
Best throwback style with modern twist.
I mean, and for having scripted combat,
Freaking great.
where like you hit them and it's a preset animation and stuff, they're probably the best example of it. Like usually in VR, that stuff doesn't look good, but it works in Path of the Warrior.
Yeah, man.
I wonder what is Twisted Pixel up to. They've had nothing for years. Path of the Warrior is so good. They're so good at understanding the small details of what make a game good, from soundtrack to just what you do in the game. Like they get it. They know how to make good games, and there's just been nothing from them. But they're working on something.
Even after Path of the Warrior came out, I thought there was going to be a very aggressive something with it. I'm like, they have something here.
That game screams sequel, man. Doesn't it?
Oh, dude, it screams 4-player.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I want a sequel of Path of the Warrior. So that wasn't the news. That wasn't on the list news, but we went back to the Path of the Warrior. Been loving it. I'm so excited for the next one that you have to talk about.
You know why this one excites me? Because of how many years ago, over 2 years ago, we were given...
no, probably a year.
Was it a year?
Probably a year.
Okay. So about a year ago then, we were given access to it with, you can ask questions if you want. You can...
And then they put it out for free on App Lab too. A demo of it.
But officially, from Maze Theory, is coming the Infinite Inside.
I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Coming out July 12th on Quest PSVR 2, which is actually really cool that right out of the gate they're doing that. Pico and Steam VR.
All platforms at once. Maze Theory gets it, dude.
Yeah,
Peaky Blinders was great. I have faith in them based off of how good the demo is. I hope they crush it.
It's coming out in like
a couple weeks.
Pretty much 2 weeks, but I feel like they need to hit that ground hard or they're going to get they're just going to get buried.
Yeah.
And I've just got some concerns with their release date and other games and stuff, and I'm like, it's a good game and I don't want to see it get lost in the
slow summertime. Or
it uses mixed reality. It's using puzzle elements and gameplay shit that I've never seen in VR.
The atmosphere in it, going from inside the puzzle to outside
it's crazy.
Shrinking down into it, dude.
Yeah, when we played the demo before it was given out, I was just blown away. I'm like, I love what's going on here. I hope this is a thing. I actually was concerned a while ago, like months ago, that it was a dead project. So I'm like, I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
like, literally nothing.
Same with, remember that boxing game, the bare knuckle boxing game?
Yeah.
I went to their Discord. I was like, I got to dig into this.
Yeah.
There's still updates on it. Right. It's still in the work pretty actively, too.
Sometimes you just don't hear anything through the universe.
And they just posted something on Twitter, too, showing some animations of the AI movement and stuff like that.
Infinite Inside.
Yeah, Infinite Inside for Maze Theory. What was that, July 12th?
Yep.
It's coming. That's a must grab in my eyes.
Oh, dude, 1,000,000%.
If you like puzzle games. Yeah,
the whole thing's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
But it's so... Listen, I love when people do their own thing. And it's got, puzzle elements, but everything outside of that is like, it's not like a normal experience that I've had in VR. So I loved it the first time we tried it. And I was like, oh shit, dude, this has real potential.
Yeah, no doubt.
So now let's just see if they can get the word out, strong enough that people will jump on it July 12th.
Yeah. So we'll do now a quick shout out for our Patreon. To be honest with you, we were going to go a little bit longer before an ad break, but we've been rambling. Might as well take an ad break now before we get too carried away. But like always, about halfway through the episode, I'd like to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. Always appreciate our Patreon supporters that support month after month. We have a couple different tiers on our Patreon. We have one we call it just supporting, but you know what? It does give you access to an exclusive Patreon only channel in our Discord server. And of course, all the tiers above do too. Then we have our on-air shout out tier, which is what you're about to hear us shout these peeps out. And we also have a tier that gives you your name across the bottom of the screen on the video on a rolling ticker. And of course, all those give you access to the Patreon channel and our Discord as well too. But always appreciative of the people that choose to support. You know, we'll always put out our content for free. You know, it's not like we restrict our interviews or our episodes. We want as many people to see it. So supporting is completely optional. I'm supporting through the Patreon. So definitely appreciate the people that decide to do it. So huge shout out to Amelia, Asim, Espire Mike, T Peasy, Jake, Carson, Crispy, and Shoes. Crispy Shoes, baby.
I got them crispy shoes.
So hugely appreciative to all of you.
Wear them for you.
Also, the other people that aren't on the on-air shout-out here, you know, I just appreciate everybody that supports through the
Patreon. Somebody being like, I don't really want my name mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I'll shout out some people that maybe aren't on the Patreon that just are in our Discord. You know, our Discord community in general is freaking awesome.
I bet you I can write down the first one you're going to mention too.
Let's see. That'd be a good guess. But, you know, a huge shout out to some of our Discord members as well. They know they might not be on our Patreon, but like Inferno and Chadwick.
Got it.
Yeah, well, Inferno, I got to give him a shout out because, dude, we put out the episode audio-wise at like 3 a.m. By 4:30 a.m., he's like, listening to the new episode.
Already listening.
And you put out a good point. I don't think that there's ever been a peep of negativity from him about anything.
No.
Even if he doesn't like a game, he'll be like
we
sympathetic kind of.
We were talking people off air, by the way.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. We talk about our Discord community.
Not in a negative way, just really looking at all those positive traits that people bring to the table as a community, and some people pop.
And from the moment Chadwick joined, he's just been like good energy, good vibes the whole time.
I can hang out with Chadwick for sure.
Yeah,
I know that, you know, as long as there were no cameras and shit rolling, get canceled within 10 minutes of maybe a couple of
you
drinks.
have to be bouncing off of each other.
Hanging out at the fire or whatever, do some fishing.
70s were different times.
That's how I picture a time spent with Chadwick. Or let me fucking play with the Bobcat, bro. Let me go play with some of the equipment. You can sit there and take a lunch break all day long. I'll just be out there playing.
So even the people not in our Patreon, just the people active in our Discord community, you know, they're awesome. Go check out our Discord. Go check out our Patreon. You can find the links for that in our show notes as well. You know, we're going to take a moment for an ad break. In just a moment, we're back to these days. You know, another message from our sponsor, Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire, from Shell Games. So if you haven't yet, go check them out. Go check out the link in our show notes. Use that exclusive discount code there as well. Save yourself a quick buck, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Need to add a new horror game to your library? Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire is a new horror game brought to you by Shell Games, the studio behind the award-winning I Expect You to Die franchise and Among Us VR. In Silent Slayer, you are a vampire slayer who has been called to destroy the clan of vampires before they wake up to grab an unstoppable power. But there's a catch. You can't wake them up. Silent Slayer requires precise, controlled movement and puzzle-solving skills in order to silently neutralize these monsters. From putting emblems together to the penultimate staking, Silent Slayer creates a tense environment for the bravest souls. Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire is now available on the MetaQuest store. If that's not for you, you can wishlist the game on Steam and join its newsletter for updates. And for listeners of the podcast, we have an exclusive discount code for 10% off by using code RuffSlayer-8904FC. Just visit the link in our show notes and use the code RuffSlayer-8904FC for 10% off Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire.
And we are back. Did you check out Silent Slayer yet? No, I'm just kidding. So to get back to the news, you talked about the Infinite Inside a moment ago before the ad break, which was put out as a free demo, now coming out on July 12th. Super excited for it. So it's only fitting we go into another one that's kind of in the same boat. Maestro, the masterclass. Dude, one of the best free demos that's ever come out, in my opinion. When this dropped on App Lab, this one might be closer to 2 years ago, but a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It's a hand tracking orchestrator game. And it's so freaking well done.
The Maestro, bro.
The Maestro. It's so
You're
well done.
conducting everything. Raising the...
And the free demo was a tutorial.
Awesome.
A multi-steps, kind of almost story-based tutorial where they teach you the mechanics, and then it ended with a replayable song. But one song.
Yeah.
But it was so well done. I think everybody that played it was like, instantly give me more. Where's the full game?
It was the worst stroke job I've ever seen. It really was. It's
They
like,
completely teased me.
with a great experience. And what sucks worse is I believe there is a similar type game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And
Named Maestro.
I thought it was the same
When we
game.
first talked about it, we
Yeah.
mentioned it. Yeah, we effed up.
And now that we have PC VR, there's no reason we can't get that other one.
Yeah, but I heard that other one's not as good.
I
I'll
don't
still
know.
try it myself.
All I'm saying is I'm so grateful this isn't a dead project. Are
I
they
was
going to
getting
charge
worried.
for all this? I need
don't
them
know.
to throw price tags out and a roadmap. That's
Here.
all I need.
All they're doing, they didn't say release date or anything, full release. All they said is new content coming June 26th, which coincidentally is the same day as the Upload VR Summer Showcase. So I'm maybe expecting some news there. Is that a fair connect the dots? I mean, it would be a terrible day to put out.
It
an
would seem
update.
like a weird coincidence if it didn't show up on the show.
If they're not on that showcase, they need to move that update a couple days either direction.
But they already got a trailer out, don't they?
They just put out. All I saw was a little clip of a guy sitting on a bench in like a kind of cosplay of the main guy, teasing that there's stuff coming on the 26th. Maybe
So
I missed something else.
Maybe the 26th will be confirmation of what's coming. But it seemed like in the trailer, like you pretty much see that.
Yeah, I thought that there's going to be new content, and I'm expecting it to come.
I want to see a price tag and a roadmap. They have a great product.
unbelievable
I don't know
product.
how big the studio is.
No, I'm not rushing them. I'm not like, hey, it
They
needs to come out
They
tomorrow.
have something good.
Yeah,
They could, if they never released the demo a year ago or a year and a half ago, whenever it was, because we pounced on it, dude. Like this fucking amazing.
but it was good marketing though because it made it a must buy for everybody that tried it.
It did, but
How much would you pay for it? $19.99 sound
you
fair?
have gold. Don't you wanna get it
$29.99?
nice and shiny and get it out?
Somewhere between $19.99
I would
and
easily pay
$29.99.
$19.99 if it had a list of songs with future songs coming.
I can
or,
understand even 30 if
or
it's licensed
packs
stuff.
you can buy too, like music packs, and just take from Beat Saber and Ragnarok and every other single
Well,
rhythm game.
aren't a bunch of classic songs like that in public domain?
I would think so. They're hundreds of years old.
So if they're not copyrighted, I mean, you could go to all those non-copyrighted old classical songs, right? I mean, you have a huge library to
Okay.
choose from then.
Getting real with it now, right?
Real talk.
Every real talk right now, real rough talk. Every single movie is typically uses an orchestra,
Mhm.
right? Like think of Star Wars soundtrack or
Mhm.
E.T. or close. It doesn't matter the movie. Star Wars. I think I already said that, so we'll
Mhm.
say it again. Star Wars.
Every time that
It was done with full orchestra. I mean, I used to have the album, so that they're on a gold mine, dude.
Mhm.
Think of every single great movie soundtrack. The Godfather. They could
Mhm.
just have, and it's all done in an orchestra, anyways.
Yep. Dude,
Not just the
I wanna do-
Beethovens and.
I want to play Underdog soundtrack in Maestro.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like they could do. Think of not just movies, but also like plays, like
Mhm.
Annie, or
Like how Beat Saber has custom modded maps and Synth Riders
dude,
too. You could have
you
modded.
could do anything.
So I don't know what, I even wrote on my on my note, maybe release real mystery is what
Who
I wrote.
knows?
But yeah, no one freaking knows. But
Shoulder shrug emoji hashtag. Who really knows?
June 26th, I'm excited.
It's
So-
a real who's to say.
So take it away.
If I could buy it from them, I would. That's how much I believe in their product. That it's like if I was one of those, like make them an offer that they can't refuse. See, so this is just a cool one. It's
Oh,
not
huge
like,
shout out on this
It's
one,
not
right?
like really news. It's just a big shout out to the
Well, you noticed it by accident almost, right?
yeah. And then I'm like, damn, the momentum on this thing has just been off the charts. Because we started playing this in early development on App Lab. It was like,
Free demo,
and we had a blast, and we were amazed when
slapping the NPCs. They had multiplayer working back then.
when we talked to them about it, and it's like, oh no, you have no idea all the stuff we got coming, and we're doing. I'm like, holy crap, this is a pretty good product as it is.
We talked to Alana, the producer of it, way back when they were still in Kickstarter.
Who works for Vinci Games, but for $29.99, Blacktop Hoops, that's what we're talking about. But here's where it gets friggin' awesome. 92% 5-star ratings, rocking a 4.9, dude.
4.9 is tough to maintain.
18,450 ratings and 9,812 reviews. Probably by Monday, this is a day later, who knows, it's probably going to bump up. But holy crap, they hit the jackpot.
It's a good game.
They hit the jackpot.
I mean, there are other basketball games on the Quest platform, like Gym Class VR. There's a couple other ones, but there's something about that. You know, people have
their art style too. Let's be honest.
The street basketball.
Yeah, it's like it's more relatable than traditional basketball.
Remember the old school street football and street basketball games? Mm-hmm. Those were always some of the most popular games at like my friends' play sessions. You know, if we got together and we're all playing video games at a sleepover or something, you better believe those street sport games came on.
It's all relatable too.
Yeah.
Depending on how you grew up, you know.
And again, multiplayer in it. They got a career. They got, dude, I'm so proud of them. 4.9 is tough to maintain.
I love when you see a studio that you really genuinely give a shit about, and
good people.
Like, they're just doing nothing but crushing it.
I was not expecting that many reviews, which granted, it might be fluffed up from when it was on App Lab for free.
It's officially a top rated.
Yeah, but it's top rated, dude. 4.9.
So it's proof. What I really like is it's proof that, you know, they did something. They started an App Lab and they've continued to crush it, and they crush it in the store. And
Kickstarter campaigns are tough to pull off too.
Well,
I've heard some horror stories of like, oh, I wish I didn't Kickstarter from developers, you know?
Yeah.
And they've done it. They did it.
They did it. So they deserve all the kudos in the world for that.
Yeah. Another one I cannot wait. We talked about the other week too, is All on Board. They Kickstarted and they seem to be pulling it off, but it hasn't come out yet. But again, not to steal the thunder, huge props to Blacktop Hoops. Vinci Games, 4.9, shit ton of reviews, shit ton of ratings, top selling list. Hope they're crushing it.
They are.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be there.
And then this one's cool. We currently have a MetaQuest June summer sale going on with sales up to 75% off.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And just to name a few, you know, when you go through the list, like there's no way I'm naming all of them.
No, it's too big.
But there's like, you know, Moss 2 is 25% off. I should mention too, Moss 1 is 30% off. Sea Smash VRS, which just came out recently. It's kind of like a racket sport game. That's 20% off. Demio Battles is 45% off. So, and then a whole bunch more. So go check out the Quest store right now. Whole bunch of good savings. You instantly were like, play out of Steam's playbook right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. I love a good summer sale.
Dude. Well, yeah, the Steam sales they used to be where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you'd hold off buying a game because you're like, I'm gambling, man. This shit's coming to the
summer sale.
Guaranteed. When it didn't, it always was painful. I do that with the Xbox though.
Yeah. With their Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm like, if I see a game, because it's happened to me more often than not, I'll spend $30 on a game, and a month later, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, there's no indication that this will be a yearly sale or anything like that, but at least for 2024,
please. I guarantee it will be.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, it gives the developers an opportunity to, you know, move some of their product at a time where one would say it's not as, you know, robust in the drop-in game world.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The only, it's funny, I've seen some developers kind of not too happy with, because, I mean, Toast Interactive with Max Mustard started a fire when they did their 90% off
They showed
sale.
what happens when you give it away. It's like, boom, top selling.
Yep. Well, they gave it away for what, like $2 or $3 or something like that. They hit top selling, number one on the store. But, I mean, Richie went on beyond Between Realities and was even like saying like cautiously, like, I don't recommend this for every game.
No.
You might actually end up on the negative in your return on investment. For not every situation it's worth it. It was a test for us. It worked out for us. I just don't recommend it for every.
Well, they're such a small team.
Yeah, and I also think he doesn't want anybody to make a mistake. And it's he said approach with caution, and I probably don't recommend you do it. Was basically to too long didn't read
for buying stock or investing.
But it seems like other developers have started to do it, and we've seen a handful of games also drop for 90% off and climb up that top selling list. So it's
how bad is it if you drop your game to 90%? You don't.
The thing is, it worked for.
That's where it gets scary.
It worked for Max Mustard because it's like Gorilla Tag or Ghost of Tabor. First to do it, you have to innovate. Once you know.
But that was a little above and beyond.
If we have
90%.
if we have 25 games giving 90% off, I think it loses the allure, right?
That's 25 games people are going to buy real fucking quick.
I don't know if they'll buy every single one. Now, I feel like you start to get diminishing returns every other one.
Well, you're only going to buy what interests you anyways.
I think a lot of people bought Max Mustard with no interest in it, just off freaking principle.
Because they could.
That it was 90% off.
And that's what made his campaign so successful, I think.
I just think if a bunch of games are doing that, I don't know if it has that. If, at what point do consumers go, no, I'll skip this one?
It'll work for the game if they're showing like this used to be a $30 game and you're getting it for $2.99. If they just show you the game and there's no like what's the game cost if it's not reduced this? That's where Xbox gets me. They're really good with like, hey, 80% off. It's a fucking $80 game. We'll sell it to you for $15. I'm like, I'm buying it.
And it's happening at the same time as the summer sale, which to me, it doesn't compete against the summer sale. If I was a consumer...
Dude, for the prices, you can, with the cost of one legit game, how many games can you get?
I heard the mods, the Quest subreddits on Reddit were getting annoyed with developers posting their discount codes. Like, F off with that. Let them self-promote. Let them share their codes. Let them make some freaking money during a slow time of year.
Yeah.
Like, if you police to that extent... as a Reddit community that's supposed to be for VR.
I was going to say supposed to be open. And
if there's anybody that you should let overly self-promote, it's developers pulling discounts.
I get
discount codes.
I get if it was just random people.
Or even like excessive trailers and excessive game footage. I get it, but we're talking discounts during a slow type of year of the industry. If these studios don't make money and they close, you're going to miss them, right? But you're going to dig the grave for them to go into by removing that stuff. So I'm in favor of promoting as much developer discounts as we can. Blast that shit out. We got a nice discount code, like I said, for Silent Slayer in our show notes. Yeah, let the developers spread the word. So that was mine on the last one with the summer sale. So you want to kick us off on the next one?
This is kind of cool. It's baby steps, but it's still something new for them. But VR Monkey, who makes Sky Climb, are adding private lobbies.
Yeah, not like the most groundbreaking news in the world or anything like that, but it's
continued
news.
Movement. Yeah. And that makes me happy because they are moving forward with different things for the game. And
not only for Sky Climb, they also are responsible for like half the games on the PlayStation VR 2 store.
Yeah, that's not even funny. That's a totally different conversation.
And they're such good people. Such good studio right out of Brazil.
Imagine if they pulled every game from PlayStation.
I want to get an exact. I joke all the time and say half. Obviously, it's not half. But I should ask them because Raphael is in our Discord sometimes. I should ask him what an exact number of games that they've worked at that are on the PlayStation VR 2 store currently.
Then you'd be able to just percentage math.
And then they'll probably say like 30, but we got another 30 in the works right now or something like that because they're madmen with that. So it's a huge props to work on other people's games, porting it to other platforms, but also
if you're good at it,
still work on your own game too.
There's a market for it.
Mm-hmm. No, Sky Climb was fun.
Sky Climb's unique. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the few, that's actually a game that we kind of used the word Gorilla Tag Locomotion with for a little bit, but it does it differently. You're not propelling yourself like grabbing the earth and launching yourself. You're bouncing. It's a fun game. Highly recommend it. So Scott, the VR Monkey people too, we had a great interview with them. Good energy. Like I said, good vibes out of Brazil. Hopefully they continue to crush it. So this one's cool. These people actually won an Augie as well, the AWE award. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Who you're talking about? Yes.
It's such a cool name for an award. I'll give them credit there. Augie. I think Aussie though. I don't know about you. The first thing I think of is that it's an Australian award.
G is pronounced Z.
But Rocket from 3 Pound Games, who I love the 3 Pound Games developer, the crew of them. Robin Mulder. We've interviewed her twice now.
Twice. Their
community manager, live open mic. He's in our Discord sometimes as well, hanging out, chatting there. Part of the star-studded cast that hang out in the Discord, Get Nicholas Sutrich, Henry Stockdale, just name dropping a little bit. I'm just kidding. We're like an established coffee shop in like a creative artistic area. A bunch of movie stars and stuff hanging there. That's our Discord with VR community. I joke. But anywho, Rocket from 3 Pound Games, awesome studio. They added 2 new what they call micro games to their game, and also added left-handed control. So that's cool to see Rocket continue to get updates. But the cool stuff with Augie is, they won an Augie award at AWE.
Yeah, that's wicked. I mean, I like seeing good people win.
Mm-hmm.
And they're definitely good people.
So. No, give it to the bad guy.
Dude, it happens sometimes, man.
No, but they're cool people. Robin's a literal rock star.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk about that much, but
no,
we use the term rock star sometimes, but she's a literal rock star.
She's both a rock star in the VR space and the previous life.
And dude, she's always doing conference talks.
Yeah, and it's no, she's booked solid.
But that was probably one of the most booked solid with like VR talk people that I see that I'm connected with. I'll to use LinkedIn talk, right?
Dude, her network must be so friggin' huge.
Well, yeah, she's a badass chick, so it's cool to see Rocket still get updates and also get that attention that it really does deserve.
Yeah, and she was at AWE.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Probably collecting that award. Saying, give me my gold.
That award looks really cool.
Give me my gold.
I'd want to win just for the award because it looks so unique. It's not your normal looking, like, piece of crystal.
Yeah, well, my dream with our Rough Talk VR award show is one day, get nice, do a full event with it, sponsors and send out trophies. That's a nice thing to note because I think it's too easy to go that crystal clear trophy look that everybody does, but that solid gold, even if it's bronze or copper.
Oh, dude, it would be cool.
Whatever. That's noted.
That's have good. It, like, just the overall experience. Like, even if it was just 100 people that you have attend, different developers, like, really make a big to-do is it. But as the industry grows, there's no reason that couldn't happen.
My dream, we're like 10 years away from this. It's probably never going to happen. But my dream would be to do a live episode at PAX, live podcast episode, with also the Rough Talk VR gaming showcase, and then awards all in one big, 2-hour panel event.
All in PAX?
PAX East. Do it live. 10 people show up. I'm happy. But then live, put it on YouTube right after. That would be the dream. If there was
a bigger VR scene, I mean, PAX is probably the best one to pick because they don't have the biggest VR scene.
Give some incentive to go,
We're not rolling into some of the other ones with that. But no, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, anywho.
All right. So, not really news because we talked about it last week, but Miracle Pool.
We talked that it was going to come out. We wanted to go deeper into it. At least you did, but it wasn't out yet.
No. Is that how that really played out?
Yeah, we were going to talk about it, then we could only say that it was coming out.
Well, but it's out.
You wanted to talk about it so bad, dude.
Yeah, I do. I hate when that happens.
From the moment you tried it, I'm instantly getting messages from you like, dude, you got to get this one.
You got to play it. Come on, dude. You got to turn it on. I want to play with you.
All right, sorry. I didn't mean to.
No. So Miracle Pool, we're just going to, give our real thoughts on it. Currently holding a 4.8, which is awesome. People are desperate for good pool games. I don't care what the platform. $14.99. Developer is Pixelworks. The publisher would be 2080. 2080 Games. I always wondered, is 2080 like when they stopped doing games? 213 reviews, 213 ratings.
If I'm still alive by 2080, end that shit.
With 150 reviews, 84% 5 stars.
Yeah,
but and it's a really great game, dude.
Yeah, like I said, you were hitting me up right away.
Yeah, man. I mean, the only downside is you're humbled to the fact that
you can't own a pool table.
The majority of people can't physically own a pool table in their home because it's going to put one in your home.
It's full mixed reality.
The mixed reality multiplayer, is just crazy.
Well, the whole game is mixed reality pool. We should say it's pretty. They have 8-ball and 9-ball. Pretty straightforward. If you played pool, you know what to expect in the game.
They got some other settings too you can fuck with for the
like custom games and stuff like that. But it's basic pool. I mean, there's nothing fancy with that. You have a large table and a small table, and you have 2 ways to do it. You can either move around the table physically yourself in your living room, or you gave me a great tip. Just rotate the table with your thumbstick.
Yeah, just to click.
Which then, you reference the multiplayer. So you play it. It's mixed reality. Huge ass pool table in your living room. Like you said, you come to terms that you're never going to own a pool table in your living room.
No. Not even the bar table.
Not
which
even
is
the
like
small
6
table.
foot. Yeah, no.
When you
the
switch to the
6-footer.
small
Like,
table.
it's a 6-foot table. It should fit like a glove. I'm
Nope.
like, dude, I got nowhere to go in this room.
Yeah, I'm not walking. So when you go into the multiplayer in the mixed reality, it's meta avatars, so you see the other meta avatar
In your house.
but you see it in each other's house.
Yeah.
So I saw you
I
in
don't
mine,
see your house. You don't see mine, but I see you in my house.
and it handles moving around the table. Like when you rotate the table, instead of it rotating the table in my view, it just shows your guy move around it. And it seems like because you can move the table at any point by grabbing handles on it, it never messes with it and the other person.
I was shaking the table around when you were shooting just to see if you'd be like, hey, cut it out. And I'm like, wow, it's like really too independent.
Mhm.
I don't know how they pulled that off. I really don't. I still don't. I'm like, how did they do that?
So
I'm
well,
moving
too.
the table while you're shooting, but your table's stationary and you're not seeing it move. So
And
I give credit, though. I've been dying for a great pool game.
Graphically, it's tight.
4VR Pool is the only one that really
I love the
really
Forever,
I had, but
the 4VR crew, but I think Miracle Pool takes the winner as best pool game.
well, it's what they're bringing to the table, where 4VR has gone more of the, they got the bowling and they've got cornhole and they've got darts
Mm-hmm.
and they've got pool.
This is their specialty for this one.
I mean, this is just seems to be what this
They're focused
company's
on.
choosing to do. So yeah, but they have the arcade mode, which has, cheat angles that'll show up, and they have simulation mode, which
Cheat
does
angles.
not have cheat angles.
The kind of like the line that shows you where it's going to go.
Dude, there's not a pool player who played online pool that won't know what cheat angles
Mhm.
are. Because you really sometimes you're like, fuck.
What I don't
But
like.
we did both, and I crushed it with the no cheating. I was actually pretty amazed.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what I
huh.
don't like though is that it's player by player, meaning like it's not like the game set in arcade or simulation mode. You could
Yeah,
use the
so
lines and
someone
I
could
can't.
cheat. Yeah,
You could be like, yeah, I'm not using the lines, and they would never know that you are. I wish
did
it was.
not like that.
I wish it was set by the match,
'Cause
not
we were
the
like-
individual.
And we're each other, so we're not going to lie to each other. But it's like
It's very clear the
you're on the
possibility
honor
exists.
set.
Yeah.
man.
So it should be that
I
setting.
think you could figure it out though.
I think that setting should be by match. And
Yeah.
if you're playing single player, let you change it on the fly, but you shouldn't be able to change it in multiplayer.
In game, no.
Should be locked in
No.
for the match. If they ever choose, if there's going to be tournaments or they want to do community events and stuff like that, I think that's essential to have as a feature for setting up the room. Unless we missed something obvious, I don't think we
No,
did.
dude. But it's like if you would use it, I don't think it was going to tell me that you were using it.
But no server issues though. Everything functioned good.
Nah, dude. It's smooth rotate. Just only learning curve is just navigating the table.
Great ball physics.
But once you figure out, dude, they look really nice too. Upgradable stuff as far as like unlockables and stuff. So
Good with the rules of pool too. Like it's not like they're breaking any big known pool rules or anything like that. It's pretty.
they don't make you call the 8-ball, which is one could argue that's not really. Technically, they should have it where you have to call the pocket and you have to call the 8-ball pocket if you really want to get technical. Which,
But is that full competition pool or is that just like bar rules?
nah, dude, you if you make a shot in real pool, and it's like I'm pretty sure you got to call. Well, it's league dependent. Sorry, yeah, calling the. I think like, you're just learning or
Some
whatever.
pool guy somewhere is freaking clawing his eyes out right
there's-
now, going,
There's pool people.
"This is how
they
it
don't-
fucking works."
I've actually played pool with people, and if you sunk the wrong ball in, it was like, nah, dude, that didn't count.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do you mean it didn't count? They're like, that's not the ball you were going for. It was just fucking random luck. So when you pull those
I
luck
like
shot
luck.
off,
You got a good luck one.
I did. And because the rules in the game aren't set that like it's not going to penalize me for not saying, 9-ball corner pocket, I'll take advantage of it.
No, but great job to them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
They
maybe
made a great product.
maybe the best pool game in VR currently.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say that.
My 2 requests would be locking in the play type in the match between arcade and simulation, not giving that ability to change in multiplayer,
Yeah.
just so there's no honor system. And I do think it's a game that's built for you to be able to open up a YouTube browser and just play a video or something like that and like have it as an overlay in the mixed reality environment. That would be pretty sweet. But now I'm getting picky.
I wouldn't complain.
But great game. I think a lot of potential with league play and tournaments and stuff like that too. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. And 4.8, That was the current overall. That's very well deserved.
Yeah, man. I expect it to hold steady.
Do you feel like it's getting harder to maintain good scores? I feel like I've seen scores drop recently. Like when we first started in it, it was all high scores. And now I feel like I'm seeing 4.4, 4.2, a little bit more common. With good games, too.
It's like 90-something% of the new releases in the store all are above 4.
Which is good.
Which is good. Yeah, I was like, that's a really good sign.
My game that I love, Homeworld VR, is under 4. What the hell, people? It's a good game.
It's
got
Astra, I think, is 3.7.
Which is a good experience, too. I think that the Homeworld has the coolest mixed reality settings I've ever seen, where you can change the color and the tint and everything of your mixed reality overlay.
Yeah, man. They did a good job.
That should be settings that are in the headset. Like, you should be able to go in and, dude, you can change it to yellow if you want. You can change it to blue. You can change it to crystal clear. They should totally give you that freedom inside the headset. I need to go into Homeworld to get the best mixed reality customization that I want. That's not right, man. So did you take the last one or did I? How did we get on here?
What was the last one?
I don't even freaking know. What were you?
We talking
Oh,
about?
Miracle Pool. Wow.
Yeah.
Shot.
What we were literally talking about.
Just now.
So
Holy
you, bro.
moly. Yeah. Miracle Pool, though, man. If you like pool, I think that's number 1 for pool games right now. So huge props to them. So this is a cool one. Meta now allows you to force update your headset.
Meta now?
Meta now?
Meta now?
That's going to be their next social media or something like that. Meta now. So
Not later.
no, that'll be their news feed name. Meta now. So they now allow you to force update your headset by plugging it into a PC or an Android phone via USB-C, like how you charge your headset, and then going to a link that they have on the MetaQuest website. So, and then it'll sideload forcefully the update, and it'll update you to the newest version.
Which is cool.
Because they do it in rolling updates.
Yeah.
Which means 100,000 people get it, then 100,000, then 100,000. To make it even more confusing too, they do rolling updates, and then they do rolling feature rollouts inside the update. So meaning, let's say there's new features that come with version 66. You might get version 66, but not have the features rolled out to you yet. So there's rolling updates and rolling feature
I would get it like
rollouts.
You buy a house and it's got no furniture. You're going to wait for the truck to show up with the furniture.
That's basically what they're doing with the updates.
I mean, it just...
But sometimes people have waited like a month for an update and they're just not in the crew that gets it yet. And Meta's getting faster and faster with it, but now you can skip the queue and force update it. If you hear everybody's got version 66, you're still on 65.
But all you might get is the update
without the features.
Without
yes.
the features.
That's why I had to put that disclaimer. I think that's something I've heard a lot of people miss is like, just because you're on version 66, people go, oh, I got the update, but I didn't see the difference or I don't have this feature yet. Yeah.
Takes time.
Unfortunately. Like you said, furniture's got to arrive. The truck's on its way. Might have to stop.
The house.
Might stop for gas. Might be some traffic.
Might
but
break
it's on
down.
its way.
It might go to the wrong area.
Too funny.
All right, so this is more of a coming because this is one of those. This is one of those. It's kind of a gray area with me, honestly, because you really never know in a tech world if something's 100%, but it was kind of too good not to at least bring up. But Inside Lumi.
Oh, you were so skeptical of this when you first heard it. You're like, this is
on the
really
fence.
coming out.
If it really is what it claims it is.
I was like, do you even want me to include it?
But
you're like, yeah.
Inside Lumi is coming out with $160 cameraless eye tracking for Quest 2 and Quest 3. So, of course, we're like,
how the hell does this work?
How is this going to work?
First question you asked, is this real?
Yeah, I'm like, is this fucking clickbait? And then we saw that they're actually going to use some sort of lighting technology that's not going to blind your eyeball.
I think they're doing photosensitive cameras that, based off of what they say is where
the glare from your pupil.
Yeah, where the light reflects off the pupil, they can tell where the position of your eye is within an accuracy of 2 degrees. Which
and allegedly, if you look at the other stats they throw out there, it's the battery life much better than camera tracking.
Mm-hmm.
I think the hertz they can run is better than camera tracking, and they have a margin of error of 2 degrees.
And
so it's like
camera tracking is 1 degree margin of error.
Yep.
So they're like, oh, it's twice. People are going to be like, it's less good. I mean, we're talking 1 degree.
1 degree. When you move your hand 1 degree, it's like you barely see that,
Which, hey, who knows? Maybe it's like frame rates in VR that a low frame rate is a huge no-no. Maybe
it's going to correct your shooting because you're off a degree by nature.
Yeah.
So this will just autocorrect it.
I think that's cool though. The technology that they're doing with no cameras to just bounce off the light off of your pupils, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, I got a little creeped out. I'm like, I don't know if I've seen the movies. They've like retina scan you and shit.
But it's going to work with Quest 2 and Quest 3. So now you can get Quest 2 for $200. And then $160, $360. You have a headset with eye tracking. That's crazy.
For almost the cost of the headset, you can have eye tracking.
It's not available yet, though, right?
No, coming soon. Whenever, coming, maybe.
Yeah, they said with the 160 that there's still a good profit margin on it for them, which I wasn't expecting.
Well, they're not gouging, I don't think. But maybe what they're really doing isn't as complicated as we would think.
They said
just actually doing it.
They said the cameras that track the light off the eyes are inexpensive cameras. I mean, it sounds like that
they're going to mount in your headset. How do they do this?
I have so many questions. I
can't wait for the thing to really come out. Or if anybody has tested it, yeah, please let us know. Let us know what it was like, what the setup was like. Was it intrusive to your field of view? Because that's the thing. People always complain about field of vision, right? Like, I want the most I can get. Is this going to obstruct any of it?
You would think it would, but who knows? I mean, dude, you instantly had skeptical hippo eyes. So you're like, this is too good to be true. For $160,
I mean, sometimes you hear shit. And
so if they say that they're making a profit on $160, does that mean like during a sale, they could drop it down to 99 or something like that,
or 120?
Would you grab these for 99?
Once I know how they really work.
$160, I'm still on the fence. 99's not bad though. I mean,
no. I mean, let's be honest.
But even $160 is really good, and
to see what they really do.
It'll be my turn for news next, but you have another cool accessory one to talk about.
Oh, after?
Yeah, dude, it's cool to see finally accessories are coming out for the Quest.
Well, it's been enough time.
Pause, I'll say. I mean,
Quest
we've had head straps and that type of thing, but I mean like, eye tracking accessories, or the next one you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Now you can actually use external mics on the Quest as of a couple months ago. Remember, you couldn't do that for the longest time. You were restricted to which, by the way, I got to put this out there. I waited a couple weeks. I said, all right, maybe it's temporary. Maybe it'll pass. But I do have to throw some shade and say, I don't know what the hell they did to the Oculus party chat.
They fucked it up.
They fucked it up bad.
Something changed.
Bad.
I don't know what happened.
The audio quality on it went from the best that you could hear on the Quest to, I mean, literally, it's worse than some games. It's like, it's bad.
Yeah, it got real tingy all of a sudden.
It's like really just off pitch. Everything's just
off
weird.
Pitch.
And dude, it's just so loud.
No, it's like very
distorted.
Very treble high.
It was so clear before.
No bassy to it at all.
And there was like a 1 month span where if we were in party chat and we recorded, both of our voices would come up in the recording. Before, it would only be my voice in the recording, and then whoever else is in the party chat, they wouldn't be recorded. But for like a month, it was working where both of us would be recording. And on the same moment that the quality went to shit, that also went back to how it was before, where now it only picks up my voice. Like, no.
I'm pretty sure they're going to fix the sound issue for sure.
I gave a couple weeks before I complained. I gave a couple weeks. I was like, you know what? Benefit of the doubt. Maybe not will happen. Maybe it'll fix. But it's not just on my end. In the same moment that it was bad for me, it was bad for you. So something happened. I don't like it.
I got faith.
I don't like it.
Don't leave me hanging.
So this one, you take this one up. I might laugh reading this one. So I took this one. Apple, they're reportedly suspending their work on a Vision Pro 2 to focus on a cheaper headset model. Yeah, that's what you're not even reading it. You're laughing
like,
a bit.
Hey, we bought a sports car. No one can afford it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I know what Apple did. It's great. They're in the VR space.
I'm glad they're in it.
But from a financial standpoint, are you really going to sit there and watch Meta just take in money all day?
$3,500 for a headset is outrageous.
For what it does? Dude, you own an Apple product.
$3,500.
I mean, what does it really do? Let's be totally
before
honest.
tax. Before tax, insurance, warranty, any
like
shit like
$4,000.
that. Dude, get it out of here.
$4,000.
Get out of here.
To do what?
Now,
that's what I want to know. Like, what are you really doing? You're not gaming, right?
You know what my fear is? What's a cheaper model in Apple view? $2,000?
1,000.
1,000? You know what,
Yeah.
man? Honestly, $1,000 for an Apple product.
$14.99.
And $1,000 for an Apple product is like par for the course, right?
It's a $1,500.
$3,500. I think when we look back in 5 years, I mean, we roasted it from day one. We were never supporters of it. I just mean like the hive mind of VR.
The elitist.
It's going to be looked back as like so terrible. $3,500. I mean,
For what you really got.
I don't deny
You just
it.
got the first of something. That's all.
I'm sure it's a great device. I'm sure it's comfortable. The pass through is great, but is it worth $3,500? Man, $3,500 is a lot of money.
Every person that I know owns one that was asked the question directly in front of my own ears, so it's not like make believe shit.
You heard from someone's
Is it
cousin
worth
Susie.
the money? And they will say no.
They might be enjoying it.
It's great. It has really great benefits, but it was not worth the money. So good for Apple for looking a way to trim the fat. It'll be interesting to see what sacrifices are going to come from it, unless they just refurbish the current headsets and be like, hey, get this cheaper model, same technology.
Battery comes in it. Watch the next one come with a battery in it.
Yeah, people are hit or miss with that. Some people
Again,
love the no battery in it. Some people like the battery.
My problem is that off of instinct, I dislike it. And then you hear people like Palmer Luckey and Robin Mulder who both loved it, love the idea of it,
But what
say
if,
that's how it should have been.
what if Meta's like, look, full disclosure, guys, if we get rid of the internal battery, we can give you XYZ more processing power? Would a battery become more like,
I just don't want to wire it, dude.
for $3,500, I want a dude to stand next to me holding a battery with a wire. I don't want to even go in my pocket. I shouldn't have to.
Yeah, I just
It's
don't
really
want to
good money,
wire.
dude. No, I get it. I love being wireless.
I'm still
Even
against
on
the
PCVR,
the
I'm
external
doing
battery.
wireless, so
Just off of bias. I'm
Yeah.
biased towards internal. The weight of a headset's never been an issue for me.
not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I got a thick neck too. There's that disclaimer. Yeah,
Let's do a lot of sit-ups and push-ups.
Yeah, got this little like tree trunk neck, so that might help. But I don't know. Headset weight's never been an issue for me. So we got two. You got two more. I got one more. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
from you,
this
though.
is a cool one because it just kind of like bam was in your face all last week, and haven't heard one I mean, literally not a drop of like, oh no, it was good, but but Logitech MX Inc.,
Logitech, baby.
which is a great name we all know and trust. Oh man, dude, I spent over 100 and something, I think, for some cordless gaming mouse back in the day from them. So they've gotten me deep. Officially Meta supported. Ready for this? Track stylus for the Quest,
That's cool.
dude.
It's called like MTX or something like that. No, the MX Inc.
The
right?
MX Inc. Yeah,
It looks
the
badass.
Logitech MX Inc.
For artists and stuff like that, people that do the 3D sculpting or
Ready for the price tag? $130.
really not bad.
No, not if I'm what
Really not bad.
I mean, again, all the reviews, and it is USB chargeable, but they'll also will be able to sell in
A charging dock.
beautiful charging dock for it.
Price not announced yet.
It's like
Probably going to be as much as the head.
$130.
Yeah, that's my.
But it makes for a great bundle though. If they were like to do like, we could get $40 for the to do like the 170 and you get the charging deck. But if none of the reviews I've heard are bad, then I'm thinking the intricacy that you can actually do this is going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's fully tracked, so it's not just like it gets input. You can see it,
Think of like Paintbrush and all those other games, or
Yeah.
Sketchpad,
or even just doing productivity stuff. Just being able to easily just move files
in a
around,
3D environment. Even
dude.
I don't know.
Presenting.
Yeah. So
Ah.
I loved seeing those reviews come in though.
I
So
was
that
more hyped for that one than the eye tracking one, which is still really cool.
Well, the chances are is if I were to get one or the other, it would probably be the stylus before the eye tracking.
And I think that said it comes out in September. I think it said.
I don't know if I have that.
I might not have wrote that on the note. I feel bad for you because
No.
it launches in September. I see it.
Oh, September. Yeah.
So yeah, this comes out in September. That's not far away, dude.
No, next month. 2 months.
I might have to try to
2
score
months
one
from
of
now.
those. That
Logitech,
$30's not
if you're
bad.
looking for
sponsors.
someone to really test it. What's great is it's like the amount of press they got from AWE with the people who tried it. And again, it's all positive.
what
and I don't think anybody walked home with one.
What I'll give them props for is that, you know, you referenced old school gaming mouse that you spent a fortune on.
Cordless too.
They've always given gaming the time of day. They're one of those companies.
Well, they get the gamers from keyboards to mouse to everything. I mean, their cameras they used to make, they still make, but good luck. It was like good luck playing games and not owning a Logitech. Something. Yeah. It just, dude, the likelihood. Take apart something and you're going to see Logitech's shit in there.
We have a wicked nice Canon camera as our current camera, but our OG one was a Logitech Brio webcam. 2 of them. Which, dude, still to this day, cameras. It really is. Logitech makes good stuff. So I'm wicked excited to hear that the early reviews of it for people that got to try it at AWE have been positive. September, a couple months away. Just seems like a cool gadget. Like I said, we're in the era of gadgets and accessories, like external accessories coming to the Quest. I hope there's more to come. So this is the last one for me. And an AMA, an Ask Me Anything with the man himself, Andrew Bosworth. He said that the augments, which were like permanently placeable.
Sounds like a really old school retro band.
They were like permanently placeable AR objects in your environment. You know, you could think posters or statues. You know, you can really start to get creative with it. But he announced that unfortunately they'll be delaying it pretty much for the unforeseeable future, as they couldn't get it to work to their quality. So they're starting from the ground up with it, back to the initial drawing board with how they're going to get augments to work. But you know what? If it wasn't that good, I think that's the right decision. Go let it cook in the oven.
Yeah, man.
Don't release something half-assed, especially with how ruthless the tech journalism cycle is with Meta. You know, they get it a little bit harder than other companies, to put it one way.
To put it nicely.
So if they came out with a sloppy augments, you can only imagine.
No, it'd be the end of the world. It'd be a whole bunch of I told you so.
Horizon Worlds all over again.
People's, the Eiffel Tower and stuff.
Yeah. Remember that? That was pretty
the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard.
Which, not for nothing, you go into other world building apps and it's really not that much better. The meta avatars have gotten, like when we were playing Miracle Pool, I was like, I don't know if they're doing extra lighting effects with the avatars in this or something, but I was like, your avatar looks damn freaking good.
Yeah, it looked tight.
So it's getting there. But yeah, if they came out with sloppy augments, dude, hell to pay with the media cycle.
No, best to wait.
So yeah, that's it's disappointing to hear because it's a feature that they were not advertising, but marketing as coming soon, something they're working on around the time of the Quest 3 launch. But if back to the drawing board's what it needs, and back to the drawing board's what it gets, I'm not complaining. It's not something I bought a headset over,
No, dude.
When it comes, it's going to be a bonus.
Oh, no, dude, I totally agree.
So last one.
I never mind waiting as long as it's not dead.
Last one of a loaded episode. Like I said, only one this week, too, so soak it in.
This is a cool one. I guess this is going to make current game people who love the game happy, and will make new players of the game probably make their experience a little easier. But Hellsweeper VR, very popular with Miss Amelia from our Discord, they're overhauling their trait system. So it's going to reduce the time needed to memorize complex recipes for stronger traits, which just the way that even sounds.
It just sounds like that they streamlined the whole process to be easier.
They're going to make life easier for it, moving some of the traits into a new category. And
they let you now equip it at the start of the runs.
Right, and they let you equip the traits at the start of the run.
I feel bad. Next week you're writing your own notes.
Dude, we have the worst fucking penmanship.
But at least we can read
I
our
can make a doctor blush.
So next week you'll write your own. I feel bad here. I can see you reading my handwriting like, damn, what does mofo write?
What we'll do is we'll storyboard everything and then we'll rewrite what we need to.
Because
I saw you rewriting over some of your shit too, and I'm like, oh man. Now the worst part, since what exactly is that?
Because that's the Ascension update.
The Ascension update is what it's formally being classified as.
So they overhauled their trait system, made it easier.
But you put them at the start.
Changed some category, and let you equip them at the start. And then it also looked like in the trailer they put out that they launched new weapon.
I was gonna say
new two-handed stuff and a new enemy.
Correct.
So pretty cool stuff.
Dude, they've never stopped with that game.
They added B-haptic support for Quest 2 and Quest 3 to Hellsweeper, which rocking ass.
Still, the whole episode.
That's a game.
I give props.
Yeah.
Because you're not pouring sweat, so that speaks.
It's comfy.
How's this? I'm hot.
It's a snug
'cause
vest.
It's hot and humid out.
It's a snug vest.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's like
I mean,
skin.
it's really comfy.
Exoskin.
And it looks badass. I mean, it really does.
I'm Batman.
And we didn't mention it. You turn it on by pressing a button at the back,
Mhm.
and then like a blue light flashes up, and then you just connect it via Bluetooth in the headset. Super easy setup. And like Hellsweeper VR, obviously there's better players than me. Like you referenced Amelia.
Yeah, she's much better than I am.
I play
100%.
Hellsweeper VR. I'm getting hit at some point, so I'm going to feel my B haptics. Is what I'm saying. I'm gonna
feel it a lot.
I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it.
I wonder if
in
you're
that
doing
one.
flips and shit too. If you feel it,
Oh, like stimulate wind and stuff, dude.
yeah, like the slow mo flips. And
For in the end being nothing but vibrations, a punch, wind, water, it's all vibrations in the end.
think of being on the top of any like building.
Your body does a great job immersing yourself in it. For in the end,
Yeah,
it's just like you separate those different effects.
It
Even though in
helps.
the end, it's still vibrations. B haptics, they do a great job. And dude, playing Zero Caliber too, like I said, I've said it a whole bunch with it.
Dude, every game we've played that haptics works, I'm like wanting to play it more because of the haptics.
Any shooter, Ghost of Tabor, any game involving bullets, it just adds to the experience.
Boxing.
The reason I say Zero Caliber 2 is because we've been playing the story of it recently too, and it's such a cinematic experience. Like that story mode in co-op, it's cinematic, dude. Cars flipping, helicopters going down, bullets flying, people shooting, explosions. This guy's popping out of nowhere. They're not stopping, dude. Objectives. There's so much going on. That constant pulse of the B haptics through the whole thing, picking up with your adrenaline, feeling where the bullets come from. Because it's a cinematic experience, just adds to the cinematic value of it so much. So I think that's like the perfect game for the X40.
Again, if it says B haptics, I'm probably going to jump all over it just because I love the extra length.
My problem now is I want the hands, I want the visor, I want all of it. I want the leggies.
The leggies.
I want the full haptic support, man.
Yeah.
Because they have other ones besides the X40. They go the full body essentially.
Dude, wait until it's just as thick as a shirt
Mm-hmm.
because they've got like the nanotechnology wiring.
Like the under, how they have the mesh lining you can change out. They give you the nice second
Like,
mesh.
that's the whole thing
Yeah, there'll be a day.
with like 10,000 freaking little micro sensors.
Dude, you look like this thing is freaking awesome. It
Yeah,
feels like
I'm
body
telling you,
armor.
superhero
It
mode.
feels like body armor.
I mean, in a pinch. I mean, I wouldn't stop a bullet, but a couple of punches.
Nothing worse than getting an expensive product and it feels cheap when you take it out. The haptics is the opposite. You take it out and you're like, dude, this thing's heavy freaking duty.
Doing just the way they display it in the box. You open the box and then there's the nice plastic over that. And then you open that and there's the actual haptics. And then 2 boxes with your
And again, I like
charging cable.
I like the X16, but honestly, I recommend the X40.
Well, it's like anything else. I like the Quest 2, but the Quest 3 is better, right?
Mhm.
Let's just call it for what it is.
Well, I'll be real, dude.
16 is great, but the 40 is better.
I'm 5'8", pushing 5'9", if I want to lie a little, but I'm 5'8", 160 pounds, and the X16's a little small with me. If I'm bigger, if I'm a big person, you can't even look at the X16 in my opinion. I think it's gonna be a sports bra on
I was
you.
going to say it's just a bra.
So like the X40, this is like the adult one. This is Papa's B haptics vest, and it goes. You can loosen it pretty good. So like for like people bigger, it's not an issue.
Where I think it might be a tough struggle, and this is a market that just like skiing had to adapt to after years and years of denial of like women have different center of gravity than men, so they make skis now specific for women, but same
Different
thing
body
with,
type vests and haptics. Yeah.
And haptics is an area where you get a very endowed woman, she's not fitting in that.
Mhm.
I'll tell you right now, I don't care how much you loosen this, the space between your chest and the haptics is like a couple of inches.
But I have mine. Remember how tight we
maybe with the side straps.
No, I think because
but
I don't
I
remember
don't-
the X16 being as flexible. With
how
it.
great would it be if women, because how superhero women suits have like the full cup for their breasts to go in?
Well, because definitely the padding of this, how it's like haptic lined, is more for like a masculine build. Is like how
Haptic
it's
massage.
to like because it looks like that they're trying to put out that superhero aesthetic with it. Like they're
but
playing it
it's
up
also
to it.
for point of reference of knowing like this is where your chest should be.
Correct, but if
and
they
this is
had
where your
one
abs should be.
for more of a feminine build, that would be cool.
Yeah, be specific to. I mean, it's.
We're getting we're getting into the finer.
I'm just saying,
details,
if you really want to nail it, that would be the way to.
But this thing is snug. No, dude, it's real snug. I like it.
It's good,
The haptics on it are tight.
and I
So-
did forget about the adjustable thing, so you
So-
can bring it out, but just for body design.
Huge props to B Haptics and the MetaQuest Creative Program for scoring us each
Yeah,
V
thank you
Haptics
so much.
X40s. So cool stuff. That's it. That's all my news today. I think that's everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to the club. We'll throw some flashcards. There's today's news. Thank you all for tuning in. It was a fun one. If you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast platform, whatever that is, Spotify, Apple, both if you're feeling real generous. Be sure to check out the Discord in our show notes, Patreon, become a supporter of the show. If you haven't yet, go check out Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire from Shell Games. Go check that out.
Definitely.
Latest sponsor of Ruff Talk VR podcast. If you enjoy anything from Shell Games, you enjoy a good puzzle game, or hell, you're just a fan of the show and you want to show some love, go check out Silent Slayer and drop them a 5-star review as well. So that's it from me. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. Only one this week. We went a little long to make up for it. And we'll check you out next week. Ciao, ciao. Actually, wait, hold on. Before we wrap it up, there was actually one other thing that we wanted to talk about on this episode, and we didn't realize that we forgot to talk about it until like an hour after the show wrapped up. So Stratus sent me a message. He said, hey, man, can you at least include it at the end? Because we definitely wanted to mention it before it's, in the past, too old of news. But good friend of the podcast, Nicholas Sutrich, he's one of the editors over at Android Central. He wrote a great opinion piece on PlayStation VR 2 and Sony and just, some overall thoughts on the state of things over at PlayStation VR 2, those side of things. And his article got picked up like big time. Everyone's covering it on videos outside of VR, just overall gaming channels. It's getting other media attention from other journalists. Some pretty big publications are picking it up. So huge props to Nicholas. He goes by Guana2 on our Discord. You'll see him hanging out there sometimes too. But huge props, man. It's one thing, you write up this opinion article, you go, geez, I wonder how it's going to go. And I say opinion piece, but there's a lot of facts in it as well that base the opinion. You go, geez, let's see how the people respond to it. Let's see how it goes. And boom, everybody's loved it so far. Like I said, it's gotten picked up by a bunch of gaming channels, VR and flat screen, a bunch of publications, VR and flat screen, as well as just regular tech channels too. So cool stuff. Huge props to Nicholas. We always say it. Him and Henry Stockdale from Upload VR definitely our 2 favorite media peeps in the VR side of things. So just overall, huge props to Nick, also known as Guana2. So now for real, now we're going to wrap it up now that we got that well-deserved shout out in. So we hope you all enjoy this episode. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and we'll check you out next time. Ciao, ciao.